Hello and welcome to Select 10. Today we are going to highlight some of the best fantasy shows that you should watch if you haven't already. This will not be a typical fantasy series list, as we have also chosen a few different fantasy shows that have horror, adventure, and sci-fi elements, which do not make them 100% fantasy, but their hybrid nature makes their stories unique and the best, which you should experience if you enjoy fantasy. Now let's start with the video. Number 10. Wynonna Earp. It is a dark fantasy adventure series based on the comic book series by Bo Smith. The series centers on Wynonna Earp, the lawman Wyatt Earp's granddaughter, as she gains extraordinary powers and uses a unique pistol that can send the reincarnated criminals back to hell. In addition, Wynonna also aims to defeat the evil spirits that are terrorizing her native city and remove the family curse. She is aided in her journey by her sister Waverly, the bandit Xavier Dawes, and Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp's best friend, who was blessed with eternity. Their goal is to stop the Revenants from dwelling in their town or unleashing themselves on the outer world. The narrative includes themes of family, sacrifice, action, and a masterful portrayal of the effort to carry out severe tasks that a person never requested. The story's central supernatural element, together with the high number of magical elements and a Western touch, make it a welcome change of pace for fans. Number 9. The Protector. It is a fantasy action series created by Binner Karevli. The story revolves around store owner Haken Demmer, whose ordinary life gets flipped unexpectedly when he learns that he is a part of an ancient hidden organization tasked with defending the town from an eternal evil. As the Protector, Haken must accept the legacy of his parents and be a hero given the responsibility of killing the immortals and preventing the annihilation of the nation. In his journey, he receives assistance from people from the Loyal Ones, a shadowy group committed to helping the Protector. But as soon as he begins to delve into ancient secrets, he finds himself having to decide between his responsibilities as the Protector and an unexpected romance, while also discovering that the blood of eternal beings holds a powerful truth. Things continue to get crazier and stranger as the story advances, with Haken now having to contend with not one, but 7 immortals, every one of whom is out to end the entire universe. The series contains 4 seasons, the second of which is decent, while the other 3 are excellent, and delivers a fascinating plot involving supernatural entities, and the mystery of how they are revived is a lot of fun to watch. The show thrives on its action-packed storytelling, spectacular visual effects, and fast pacing. However, occasionally the story becomes a little predictable. Number 8. Marvel's Runaways. It is a superhero fantasy adventure series created by Josh Schwartz and Stephanie Savage. The story is centered around 6 teenagers who band together to fight their evil parents, who jointly control an organization called Pride. Here, Pride is a group that is involved in crimes and has multiple plot lines to their motivations, which is sort of a blend of superhero, fantasy, and sci-fi. In short, you may think of this show as a hybrid amongst these genres. After learning horrifying revelations about their parents, the youngsters run away while they figure out ways to defeat Pride and their final objective, which the audience won't be able to guess until the very end. And that is good, because the story successfully manages its surprise throughout, which helps to keep viewers interested in each season. Despite being unconnected to the MCU, it is still a part of it and has many hints that Marvel fans will undoubtedly find interesting. And no, it is not necessary to see Marvel's previous films or series to see this show. Number 7. The Ministry of Time. It is a fantasy adventure series created by Javier and Pablo Olivares. The series follows the activities of an investigative group in the Ministry of Time, which addresses time travel-related events that could potentially bring variations to the present day. The Ministry of Time is a covert organization that guards the doorways of time to ensure that no interloper from different periods can change events to their advantage. The plot revolves around a 16th-century soldier, a 19th-century female college student, and a 21st-century medical professional as they join forces to serve this organization, which hides a maze of doors to various times in the past. Their mission is to stop individuals from altering history by traveling through time doors and to ensure that history moves on as it is supposed to. The show has a few plot shortcomings and some weak performances from the secondary characters, but the story masterfully integrates history, sci-fi, time travel, and fantasy, and has an engaging underlying theme. Number 6. Warrior Nun. There is some good news for fans who were unhappy about the show's cancellation. The series creator stated that the show might come back at some stage, and as per rumors, Season 3 will be released on Amazon Prime. And for those who are hearing about this show for the first time, it is one of the best fantasy adventure shows of the past few years. The series depicts the story of a woman who was declared dead but awakens in a mortuary after having an enchanted object implanted in her body, giving her supernatural abilities. After regaining consciousness, she learns that she is now a member of the ancient group known as the Cruciform Sword and is now in charge of leading the other members of the group in their battle against demonic beings. At the same time, formidable forces at work from both heaven and hell are competing for the object she holds and will go to any lengths to obtain it, while the warrior nuns does everything in their power to defend it. The series is visually spectacular and is filmed in breathtaking settings, which enriches the plot and topic. There are also car chases and battle scenes that take place in ages-old fortresses and sanctuaries, which enhance the overall quality of the series. For fans of the fantasy genre, the show is fresh, unique, and a must-see. Number 5. Da Vinci's Demons. It is a historical fantasy drama series created by David S. Goyer. The series focuses on Leonardo, who becomes involved in the political conspiracies of the Pazzi and Medici dynasties and their dissimilar interactions with the Catholic Church. These incidents take place concurrently with Leonardo's mission to acquire the Book of Leaves, a magical record that is highly important to the Sons of Mithras, a cult that he eventually becomes involved with. The story is a fictitious presentation that looks at Leonardo da Vinci's early years in Italy during the period known as the Renaissance. The series showcases some of Leonardo's discoveries and later achievements as a military engineer for both the Borgias and the Duke of Milan. In the meantime, mystic groups and members of the cult taught him to use the fountain of memory to reach the hidden areas of his consciousness and informed him that he had the ability to foresee future events as well as influence them. As long as you can see this show is fantasy-based, it's quite fantastic. The show is captivating, stunningly shot, it has fantastic action scenes, adventures, thrills, and a highly entertaining story that will keep you interested in every episode. Number 4. Lock and Key. It is a fantasy horror series based on the comic book series of the same name by Joe Hill. The story starts following the bizarre murder of a mysterious man, Rendell Locke, and focusing on his wife Nina, who makes the decision to relocate with their 3 children and reside in Key House, the family home of Rendell, but little did they know, it was no ordinary house. Soon, the kids start to stumble upon enigmatic keys hidden all over the house that can be magically used to open several kinds of doorways. They are first thrilled to have discovered magical keys, but they swiftly discover that a dark force is also looking for those keys in order to fulfill its evil objectives. The show had 3 seasons, however, the 3rd season left plenty to be desired with its disorganized plots and hurriedly concluded episodes. However, people who enjoy magic and mystery may find the 3rd season more exciting than the previous 2. Think about it, a key to unlock dreams, wishes, and locations beyond the bounds of the imagination. This should be reason enough for fans of fantasy series to be excited about this series. The plot is fresh and quite different from anything you have seen in the fantasy genre. Number 3. Outlander. The fact that this show has already had 7 seasons and has been renewed for a final 8th, along with a prequel series, is remarkable, considering how few people are aware of it. It is a true hidden gem and a great show that enthusiasts of the fantasy genre, as well as everyone else, should see. And in order to prevent spoilers, we will only cover the 1st season's spoiler-free plot so you can understand the basic premise of the show. The story is about Claire Randall, a married military medic from 1945, who is inexplicably transported to 1743 and soon finds herself thrust into an unfamiliar environment where her life is at risk. There she encounters a Scottish soldier and develops feelings for him while being swept into an enormous revolution. Outlander is a gripping historical fantasy drama with a superbly constructed plot. The characters, their storylines, the breathtaking environment, and much more about the show that I won't reveal now because it would fall under the spoiler area are all wonderful. The time travel narrative is still crazy, and as the seasons go on, you discover a little bit more regarding the stone circles, how they relate to Claire's mystery surrounding time travel, and more. Number 2. True Blood. It is a fantasy horror series created by Alan Ball. The narrative is set in the modern era, when vampires wander the earth and are deadly rivals of mankind. However, a replacement for human blood has been discovered, one that vampires can ingest and experience exactly the same effects as human blood. A synthetic blood product called True Blood has made it possible for vampires to break out of their tombs and make their existence clear to humanity. The story primarily centers on Sookie Stackhouse, a psychic bartender whose existence is flipped upside down after she falls in love with a century-old vampire, Bill Compton, and has to cope with the difficulties and dangers of their closeness and relationships. Now, vampires and humans can live side by side in peace, but there are troublemakers on each side who try to take advantage of the fragile peace. The remaining episodes of the series follow the vampires' fight for equality and integration as anti-vampire groups start to acquire prominence. True Blood offers an incredible supernatural fantasy storyline that is filled with romance and offers modern takes on vampires, witches, werewolves, and other mythological creatures. Although the plot becomes a little dull as the seasons go on, the show is still extremely bingeable, immensely addicting, and full of twists and turns that constantly keep you interested. Number 1. Arthdal Chronicles. It is an epic historical fantasy series written by Kim Young-hyun and Park Sang-yeon. The story takes place in the mythological nation of Arth, where the tribes of the historic town of Arthdal face battles for power. The primary story revolves around Yoon Seum, who experiences struggles with bringing his clan back to its former glory while discovering the truth about his ancestors. The story has an enormously imaginative setting and masterfully portrays the tale of legendary champions, their battles, their bonds, and individuals residing in the magical world of Arth. The show features thrilling action sequences, complex political subplots, and characters who are clueless about their own talents and shortcomings. Despite the fact that it occasionally feels complicated due to the several tribes and storylines, the series is really engaging and offers a distinctive perspective on a relatively typical fantasy story. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.